So I'm back from holiday. I had a lovely time in Croatia. I went on to a little island called the Brac Island, in a little village called Milna. It was absolutely lovely. Door to door, the traveling was actually 12 hours, which is absolutely crazy knowing that the flight is only 2 hours. Well, we had the traveling from my house to Gatwick Airport, then we had the flight itself, which was only 2 hours. We arrived over there, we were picked up by a coach. It was 55 minutes to the ferry. Ferry was an hour, then there was a taxi going up to the resort, which was absolutely lovely. We had a private little cottage with a beautiful pool that you can see now, and it was absolutely amazing. But apart from that, we had a lovely time. Really enjoyed it. One thing obviously that a lot of people know of me is that I am into my photography, and the one thing I absolutely love is what we call urban photography. This is where you explore basically places that have been abandoned or derelict places. Absolutely love this kind of things. And in the village of Milna, Rachel found, we were looking at a building that had been destroyed and that has been left as it was. Everything else around has been rebuilt except that one building. And so Rachel found that, so I managed to go in, not completely go in, unfortunately, because it was a little bit treacherous. If Rachel hadn't been with me, I would have gone in. But that's the kind of things I'm not allowed to do anymore. So I didn't adventure inside, but I took lots of different shots. Really sad stories, as you probably all know. This is where we used to have the ex-Yugoslavia, and after the war, the country basically got separated or divided in 7 parts. And the part where we went was Croatia. So there's still a very strong culture about, and a lot of history, which is really sad indeed, as you all know. But we had a fantastic time, and then after taking all those pictures, one thing I really like as well is when you go traveling is taking pictures from the plane. So you have to switch your mobile into flight mode, obviously, and then I was able to take shots. So I'm just going to show you there the pictures of the from the flight when we left Croatia, and then we passed the Swiss Alps and then Germany, and you can see everything is clear all the way through, and then we arrived in Britain. Yay, good old clouds. So but towards Gatwick, when we approached Gatwick, it was really clear. And this is one thing I really like from the flight, is to be able to see all the green land and all the parcels of land that have been divided by bushes and stuff. Absolutely love this kind of things. So anyway, I thought we'd just share that. Now, onto the pond. So the fish are doing amazingly well. Slight concern just before I left, the shower, the common shower, got a slight cut on the peduncle, so just above the tail on his back. So this one coming right here, this one there, she had a slight cut right there 3 days before I left. So knowing that I haven't had any parasites other than when I picked up my Deutsch over there, the Deutsch shower, where I had gill flukes. Apart from that, I haven't had any injuries, I haven't had any parasites or nothing. And then 3 days before I leave, this one got damaged. I don't know where, because there's nothing they can cut themselves onto. So it was a bit scary. But I cleaned it all on the first day and put some ozone gel, and then every day without even sedating her, managed to do it just like that, lifting her up in the bowl and put some ozone gel, and then came back and everything was clear. So food wise, I'm still using currently the ProBite Summer. However, although it does give a good overall shape to the fish, I feel that because my fish are still very young, they are between one, so this one is 1 year old, and the Mukashi is 5, so they are still very young fish. And I feel it is not pushing them enough in terms of body mass, body, they've got the structure. Those fish have got that structure. You can see here this lovely Sankey, Genrin Sankey here. When I picked him up, he was like a pencil, and within a few months I managed to, and he was only, let me see on the board, 36 centimeters. He is now over 45 centimeters, but he is thick, wide. So the body structure was already there, and it was just a matter for me to rebuild him. So I was on half pro bite, half Saki carry balance. However, after talking to people, I found out that the Saki Hikari balance is like a basic food, basically. Yes, the ingredients are okay, probably not the best. The trouble is with Saki Kari is that you are restricted because of the temperature. So the Saki Kari balance you can feed from 18, but I would say that people can feed from 15 degrees. And the Saki Kari growth, it's 22 I think, but from 20 it's fine. Now this summer I've barely touched that. Barely touched all summer except in June and September. July and August I've barely touched the 20s in my pond. So Saki Kari growth was a no-no. So I switched to something else, which is FD food. So the FD food Mike used from Shosha Koi is one of the main distributors, and we've had some endless chats with him, and he's teaching us a hell of a lot at the moment about food, and you know how much I am into nutrition for the fish before you say anything else, and this is a subject that absolutely fascinates me. So you might remember that when I started using probites, I was really quite close to Mike Van Zilch, who was the probite founder, who passed away very sadly, all of a sudden. And with Mike, it made me discover another side of the nutrition. So because of those reasons, I'm still gonna feed the probite winter, sinking winter. I am still gonna use the probite spring and autumn. However, for the summer I will switch fully to FD food. FD at the moment I'm feeding here FD color and FD build up, I think. Yes I am, yeah. And next summer I will be feeding whatever I need to feed them with, but it will be just FD food. I will be moving away completely from Saki Kari for several reasons, not because Mike has said, but because Mike has taught us a lot of things, and it's not because he's the distributor from FD, it is because he has explained to us and shown us and demonstrated us what the differences between Saki Kari food and the FD food. So don't get me wrong, Saki Kari is still one of the best food on the market, I am sure. However, the FD food, they are using better ingredients. It's a little bit expensive, but as the Saki Kari food, but yeah, the result in 1 month, I have seen some tremendous changes. I don't know if you can see the color on them. This was like pale, stopped getting pale orange. Look at this, this is really bright. This one as well, she was getting orange. This is getting brighter. The little one here, he stayed red. That one is staying red, but this is getting now darker again, as it should be just before the winter. Also, I've seen, despite the fact that for 4 days they were barely fed, I have come back and they've been on the FD food now for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I can see the difference in shape. So this one was always quite a lump. I wish it was bigger, longer in terms of length, but she's got a nice shape. But now I feel that they've got a completely different shape. I think they were getting a little bit of fat on them rather than the proper body structure, the proper, what a koi should be like, a nice koi should be like, with a proper shape, but not fat. So I am really, really pleased. So I'm not gonna lie, the transition to FD food was a bit hard. So whenever you introduce a new food, you have to do it gradually, just like with dog food or cat food. You add them every day. You add with their current food a little bit more. And I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning they were like, "Whoa, what is that?" They were not eating it. Now they are not touching the sake gari balance. They will still eat the growth, but they will not touch the balance. Isn't it weird? So the pellets are big. They are 6 millimeter, so probably not the right food if you've got tiny fish. But if you've got from knee size and upwards, it is definitely the right food. Give it a go. You can buy a bag of 3 kilos. You will be amazed by the results. I am actually very, very strangely shocked. Very surprised. And they seem to have gained a luster on them, which I could only gain with the chlorella from ProBites. But all of a sudden, the Mukashi has got that luster on her, and all of them, and all of a sudden they've gained that luster. The chag as well, including the chag here. Absolutely amazing. So as I said, I'm not gonna lie, the transition was hard, but now they are absolutely ravenous. They're loving it. So this is it in terms of food, and now I'm gonna go back to cleaning my filters. Until next time. Thanks for watching.